We did a previous video that was dealing with the Christian name and surname, and we want to just take one point, because this is such a important thing to define for understanding in this, which will bring better clarity, because I know a lot of people are very confused. We're walking out there when you're kind of already like thrown into a rapid river where you're being knocked around by the rocks. Very hard to understand how to swim when you're in that kind of torrent. So consider that when you're involved in commerce, you're involved in the current. It's flowing down, you're being knocked around, and you don't really, until you get to a pool, an eddy, a spot that it's calm, it's very hard to understand. Then you could swim out of that area, get onto the bank, and then sit there and watch, and then you may be able to scoop water up and actually even fish and feed yourself. But when you're basically caught up in a mixed up, chaotic situation of not knowing how to swim, and someone threw you in for the first time, you may find yourself drowning. And people are drowning right now in knowledge. They're drowning in inaccurate knowledge. They're drowning in false information being sent by groups that call themselves free men. They call themselves sovereigns. This is blasphemous against God. They're more cursed if they actually understand the truth of the Bible and they claim such things, because it's not in the sense of what they're promoting it to be, because they're actually pagans claiming to be Christians and then claiming they're free men and that there is no law that will govern them and they will do as they please under an autocracy, which has nothing to do with what God had placed. So be very careful when you're involved with these groups, because these guys look very saleable. They act like they actually understand words. They don't even know what they're talking about. I've spoken with these people, and they're extremely intimidated when truth hits them. In fact, they will run away, almost as Satan does when he hears the name of God, because he knows his time is short. Be careful. These people are walking around for nothing more than their own self-interest, and they will mislead you in the time of the end. You need to do your due diligence. I would ask you to do your due diligence on every video that I have sent. And if there's anything that you've found that's in error, please send it to the email. Because we're not here to say we know it all. We're on the same journey you are, which is not to be destroyed, not to end up in eternal destruction, to have the promise that was given to Abraham. So certainly I understand that if you are on that journey, you would want to share your knowledge, and we have no problem with that. But be careful about people that are out there claiming a guise of Christianity when they are proving completely false to it. Now, on the word addition, which has to do with the surname, because we know the word surname is an addition added to the name or the original name. Now remember, your Christian name, given name, was thought of beforehand, before the hand reached the document. That's before time, because time occurs on a document when something starts. So all our things in our world of commerce are all timed, and God's got a timing. And it says the time will be cut short, or there would be no flesh saved, according to Scripture. So therefore, we're on a short time frame of God's rest day coming to an end, and He may just evict the tenants that have not been very good to the house. So in the word addition, which is the primary word we can find in law, so if we went to a law dictionary, Black's Law will give you an understanding of the word addition, used in law, used in civil law. Black's Law, 4th edition, says that an addition, no addition is necessary under the common law. Which means under the rules of common law, you did not require a surname or an additional name to the original name. It was not required. At common law, there was no need of addition at any case. It was required only in cases where process of outlawry lies. Now, you know what outlawry would refer to. It means someone's an outlaw, not within the law. And those that did not know the law would die like a beast, according to Scripture. They would die like an animal, as did Adam. He returned to the dust of the ground. He was part of a A damnation. Damnation. And therefore, right now, society in general is a damned nation because our nations are no longer even trying to even represent themselves as Christian countries. Without going down that direction, from quotes from presidents who are currently making speeches, they are clearly telling you they are pagans. There is no doubt about it. They are part of an Adam nation. No covenant with the true God because they use their Gentile names. A Christian walks only in his Christian name. He does not need a surname unless he's going to become unevenly yoked and mislead people on what his faith is. If you are unknowingly doing this, ignorance in God's eye is an excuse. Ignorance in man's law will be no excuse. Therefore, there could be a terrible judgment waiting for those that proceed with both those names together. That's like being a double agent. And being a double agent never works because you're not trusted on either side. You're not trusted by the Christian side, and you will not be trusted even by Satan's side, so the two together become completely a very precarious situation for people to be. Almost like someone being a broker between the prosperity between good and evil. And of course, brokers are broke, though we try to run a stock market on that. It's amazing that we could have the term broker, but he's really broke. And that's why in a movie that would believe such a thing, we'd be part of the cast because you need a cast on a broken leg.
Just going back to the idea of surname and addition for a second, I remember we were doing some due diligence about 2 years ago into the meanings of names, and I just happened to do a little bit of side research on the current president of a certain nation that seems to be in charge of the world, and this president's last name actually meant surname.